So you're both producing now as well as performing, both like producing your own shows and via Chaos Machine, obviously. You and Danielle, Jensen. And I'm just curious, what stories do you feel drawn towards creating as producers? Like, are there certain things you gravitate to, or is there criteria you're looking for in new projects you're taking on?
Great question. You want to start?
I mean, it's a difficult question to answer because I know what I think you mean, and you're right in asking that. But the reality is there's this little thing called IP, intellectual property, and there is any IP that is out there that is proven is owned. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not gonna get a DC comic that hasn't been done and just be like, oh, this hasn't been done, I'm gonna produce this. Somebody owns all of that. Mm-hmm. So to find some sort of IP that is available is the first kind of hunt that you have to go on. Let's see what's available, and then you have to go and find, okay, well, why is it available? Why does nobody own this? Because there's so much IP that is out there that is just owned that you'll never see. People buy it up because they don't want somebody else making it. And they'll shelf it, or they'll just keep it, and they'll keep paying the, you know, whatever the cost is for the deal that they've made with the owner of that IP, and then they'll just keep it to literally just, they're like, well, we don't know what we want to do with it, or if we're going to do anything with it, but we just want to know that nobody else has it. Mm-hmm. There is so much of that. And so to even find things that are available is very, very difficult. And then to find things that are difficult or find things that are available that are good and resonate and have a shot at actually being produced and invested money in and make for a studio or a network or whatever it might be. It is very difficult. We've been very fortunate we've found a couple of IPs that speak to us that were available, that we are currently producing and developing, and so I wish I could say, oh, we want to do just comedy, or we want to do just, you know, action and adventure, or we want to do the stuff that we have that we currently have ownership of, not ownership, but we own the rights to, I suppose, that we are developing are literally across the board. But it's each of those things I was like, I really like this, I think this could be something. But it's not in one specific area, it's not in one specific genre, it's kind of across the board. So it's a difficult game to play, the producing and developing game, especially being a small production company. Now granted, we have a deal with Amazon, so that gives us a little bit of you know, leverage. Mm-hmm. If we really feel passionate about something, that we can go to them and say, hey, I really like this product. Can I pitch it to you and give you my ideas for how I want to do this? Mm-hmm. And we're doing it right. I'm doing it right now. Mm-hmm. There was a book, we got it. I'll tell you about it when I can. I brought it to them. They said, absolutely. We've developed it. It's in a script form now. So all of that, but the thing is that we got first crack at the book because I knew the author. And that's really the only way to get things of merit these days, because everything is already owned. Mm-hmm. It's so hard. I mean, the reason people make movies now, they're like, oh, that book's been out for years. It's like, yeah, well, because somebody was sitting on it for 20 years and finally gave it up, and then somebody quickly bought it who loved it and made it into a movie or whatever it is. So it's a crazy business, this side of it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's changing quite a bit. Everything he said is right on point, in my experience, at least, as well. But the industry is also changing quite a bit. Like, we had a couple of union strikes over the last 2 or 3 years, 1 or 2 years. And so there are things that I'd love to make with friends if I had 2 months and some camera crew and some wardrobe to just go make it and see if anybody ever watched it. If you're going to hope to make something that people want to watch and people are going to spend money on, there are certain stories that need to be told right now, and that there are certain stories that studios and networks want to tell right now that are going to be totally opposite in 2 or 3 years, and totally opposite in 2 or 3 years from there. But yet, to his point with the IP, the intellectual property thing, like, if I am a big studio and I have a movie coming out and it's called Convention Man, and I spent 50 million, it's a good movie. You're not going to watch it? No, but if I spent $50 million making this movie and it's going to come out in 8 months, but I find out there's another book or script called like Convention People, and I can pay them $100,000 a year just to have the rights to that book so it won't get made and cost me half of my box office or whatever, then that's what they do often. And that's business. It's very creative and artistic, our industry, but it's also a business. And so I think there are a few stories I'd like to tell. There are a few books we have optioned as well. And hopefully we get them made and get them made properly. I think
We're also little fish in a very giant ocean.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Safe travels back to LA. All right, let me see. I'm not good at this. Oh, I suck. It's going to be a bad day. Just kidding.
It's all right.